Ancient wisdom tells us perfection is impossible. But what if the real story of Adam and Eve was about something deeper, not just disobedience, but humanity's eternal struggle between spiritual ideals and earthly desires?
You know, that's such an intriguing way to look at it. The text really does present this fascinating psychological portrait of human nature.
Well, what strikes me most is how it reframes Adam's fall. It wasn't just about eating the forbidden fruit. The text suggests his real sin was thinking he could challenge God's authority. It's like the ultimate case of hubris gone wrong.
And there's this whole hierarchy it sets up between angels, humans and animals. How does that fit into the bigger picture?
So here's what's fascinating. Humans are positioned in this unique middle ground. We can either aspire towards what the text calls angelic celibacy, or give in to our more earthly desires. And this is key, neither choice is inherently wrong. The text actually presents marriage as God's compassionate response to human nature.
That's such a nuanced take for an ancient text. It's not just condemning human desire outright.
Exactly right. And it gets even more interesting when you look at how it categorizes different levels of spiritual achievement. You've got the perfect ones who completely detach from worldly possessions. Think of them like spiritual Olympic athletes. Then there are the upright who engage with the world but strive to do no harm.
Tell me more about these different spiritual levels. How does it all work?
Well, it's like a spiritual credit score system. Below the perfect and upright, you've got people who do good sometimes and evil sometimes. Then those who do more evil than good but still have some redeeming qualities. The text even accounts for moral neutrals, people who neither help nor harm others.
You know what fascinates me? How practical this ancient text seems despite its high ideals.
Right? And here's something wild, even the great prophets weren't considered perfect initially. The text suggests they had to wait for Jesus to achieve their full spiritual potential. It's like they were running an older spiritual operating system that needed an upgrade.
That's such a great modern analogy.
And get this, the text connects perfection to universal peace. Like even these great spiritual figures couldn't achieve perfection because they sometimes had to engage in violence. It's wrestling with this question we still face today. Can you be morally pure in an imperfect world?
Well, that really brings it into our modern context, doesn't it? We're still dealing with these same fundamental questions.
Exactly. And look at how sophisticated its view of justice is. Someone who commits 100 wrongs isn't punished the same as someone who commits one. The text explicitly says the punishment should be proportional to the crime. That's remarkably progressive for an ancient document.
So what do you think this means for us today? How do these ideas translate to modern life?
You know, whether we're talking about ancient ascetics or modern minimalists, we're still trying to figure out the right balance between worldly engagement and spiritual growth. The circumstances change, but these fundamental human struggles, they're timeless. What's truly remarkable is how this text created a system that accounts for both human aspiration and human limitation.
That's really what makes these ancient texts so powerful, isn't it? They remind us that while our technology advances, the core questions of human existence remain surprisingly constant.
Absolutely right. And maybe that's the most important lesson here, that wisdom about human nature doesn't have an expiration date. These ancient writers understood something fundamental about our eternal struggle between our highest aspirations and our earthly desires. They weren't just writing about their time, they were writing about the human condition itself.